Rolling.
Anyway, so whether that be the case or not, I'm not sure, but it's nice. Anyway, so Lafita, everything's just going to be course laid on. So l'chayra, you guys should have a kasha. There's a simple kasha on that one. Alafisa, we shouldn't need a base of mikdash. The Yossi Loya. If you what the Shlo says, everything's going to be equal, and you need these different levels only because of those minor colors. It's in that case, what are we going to need a base of mikdash for?
We still need a certain place for the Shekhinah.
And a Kirchapet. If it's different, it's going to be big time, the base of mikdash, don't for little at my shop. It can be one place, so l'chayra, one could ask, what are we going to need? And the base of mikdash is going to be the whole of what is now Yerushalayim. Well, absolute, maybe even more. Because all the shuls are going to come over, and they're all going to be on the RABBI together with all the Bati Medrash. Just imagine that. All the Bati Medrash, the Ganser 770 is going to come first. That's what the Rebbe says in the famous Sikha. We learned it last Thursday night in the shul. None of you guys came to it. We learned the famous Sikha from the Rebbe about 770. 770 is going to come first, and it's going to be right alongside the base of Mikdash. And all the other shuls are going to be on the RABBI, and that'll be the whole of Yerushalayim. That's what the Rebbe says. And I was sure, they call it Yerushalayim. Yerushalayim will be the whole of Eretz Yisrael now. And then Eretz Yisrael is going to be the whole world. That's it. So I asked the question, what do you need the base of Mikdash for? What do you need if everything is just Kedusha, Kamayim Liyam Mechasim, what do you need the base of Mikdash for? No takers. So right now, if you look in all the things, all the korbanos, even the korban oilo, which doesn't seem to be on anything, all the korbanos have a certain inyan of tikkun. Even the oilo, which doesn't appear openly in the fussy, but our sages tell us it also has, it was machaper, l'chaper olo. L'chaper means in some way to atone for you. If it's atoning for you, is a sign that something is not perfect, and we have to atone. So all the korbanos and all the menachos and all the Yinonim that were brought in the base of Mikdash, therein it was tikkun. Therein it was to correct, the what you might call the faults that had occurred through the slips of the Aveda, albeit b'shoigeg. Or b'shoigeg is also not good. Come over in the Gemara and in Siddur. But shoigeg is also not good. You also need a tikkun for shoigeg. Certain the korbanos even get close to mezid, it's all tikkunim. Liyosid lovei, no tikkunim. Everybody's going to be differently. I said, no tikkunim. Him came. What are we going to need to base a mikdash? And I have a further shaila. It's brought down that Adam Arishan, he offered up korban before the chait.
A unicorn.
Before the chait, Adam Arishan offered up at least one korban. And it's written that Hashem put him in the Gan Eden li ovdo ulashomro. Yeah? And the Medrash says that one of the things in the word ovdo means korbanim. But Malamed she'odam arishan, he kriv korbanim. Which Koyda Machid, what's he doing being makriv korbanim?
Korban Nadeva.
Perfect odam arishan.
Korban Nadeva. Nadeva?
What is that?
Nadava.
A Nadava. Okay. That's a good idea. But, what's the purpose of the Nadova? You bring the Nadova, and Asher came, what kilo would be the point of bringing the Nadova? Except for showing that you wanted to give Hashem something. Mm-hmm. But it would be so obvious that everything is from Hashem. What would you need to bring a Nadova for? So they wanted the Adam Arisen. What was he doing? So the answer is given in a minor from the Rebbe. And there's a very famous minor from the Rebbe. Well, everything's famous. Where the Rebbe says that Adam Arisen's korban, Adam Arisen's korban was purely in order to go up. That the korbanos, the Yossi Love and by Adam Arisen, therein is going to be that through offering up the Nefesh Abamiyas, which is already pure, but albeit it's not the same Kedusha as the Emerson Kedushas Nefesh Elokis, by offering up korbanos, you're going to go higher and higher. You're just going to be elevating the whole time from one level to the other. What's it a pshat one? It's like the Chabadniks. The Chabadniks, everybody says, this is good. Come on, the Chabadniks say, no, this is not, you have to have better, you have to have more, you have to do Meptoyim, you have to everybody, it's not enough. Everybody's got to put on Torah. Yeah, and who said that? The Rebbe said it.
The Rebbe said it.
Yeah. That there's an Indian of going higher and higher. So the same thing, Yossi Love, by Tchias Amazim, all the tzaddikim and everybody going to be sitting, Nani Maziva Shechina, and the Chabadniks going to drive around with tanks, and they're going to show you, what's up with Ziva Shechina? Ziva Shechina. We want Atzmas.
Oh, we're going to get Atzmus by Mashiach times.
Huh?
We're going to get Atzmus by Mashiach times.
You're going to get a bit Pehelim Masuya. When it comes to Tchias Amazim, there's going to be more of a
So after Tchias HaMesim, there's going to be no more Chabadniks?
So the Chabadniks are going to say that we want Atzmas B'Kolo Yoter. You follow? There's levels in Atzmas, are they in Atzmas?
Right.
So they're going to say, that's what you call, we want...
Yeah, but when it comes to Tchias HaMesim,
Yeah.
so then there's going to be no more, going up.
Yeah, but there's going to be Aliyahs, even after Tchias HaMesim. It's written in Al Pi Kabbalah that there's going to be 50,000 Yoivelas.
Wow.
That's just the beginning of the Aliyahs.
Right.
The whole Indian of Adam Arisen's korban was that Adam Arisen said, not enough. I'm sorry, Hashem, you gave me Gan Eden, you put me in it, and everything's beautiful, everything's Gilei Lakus, but I want to go up, I want more. So he took the behemoth through that, he went up. So the same thing with what you call him, with the Beis Hamikdash, Yossi Love, it's the same meaning that Yidden, particularly Chabadniks, are going to say, we want incomparably better, because and so that all the Korbanos are going to be aware that we're going up and up and up. And it's going to be Aliyahs ad ein kates v'so. Aliyah. That's the Beis Hamikdash of Yossi Love. What could be better? I mean, that's just unbelievable. And so therefore the Rebbe says, we want Mashiach now. Got to have this immediately. What's it said? Sure. Oh, upon him, come to us that that's what's going to be when Mashiach comes. And Yesh Lema, that's what was when Adam Arisen, maybe on a slightly lower madriga, but Erech, the same meaning, when Adam Arisen was first created. So, what's not good, that all somewhat happened.
Faith.
Huh?
Faith.
Faith. Also. Faith Adam Arisen. Nobody understands it. I don't either. That's not the purpose of this class, to go and explain how it happened. But Rapoyo, it happened. Well, it happened, but it happened. There was an Iyam for Chayit. Through the Iyam for Chayit, everything changed. Everything dropped, everything fell. Adam himself dropped, he's no longer Adam with a big olive, he's got maybe if he is a Bainani, then he's got he's Bainani. Everything dropped. And then, what happens? Comes along the Arizal, and he said, after the Chait Eitz Hadas, there's an Iyam for Avodas HaBirurim. You've got to perfectize, and you've got to choose, and get the better and put the bad aside, and because it's all what we call Taruves, Teva, Ra. Yeah, it all caused a mixture of Teva, Ra. No matter, you have to have different levels in order to keep everything in balance. Yeah, you have to have a Hevdel bin a Kohen and a Yisrael, you got to have a Beis HaMikdash, and you got to have a Beis HaMedrash and a Beis HaKnesset, you got to have Pesach, and you got to have Purim. Otherwise, who knows what's going to happen. And we got to keep working, and the whole Bria became a medium for Tikkun. And therefore, in the Beis HaMikdash, all the Korbanos which are written here, all of them talk about the Inyan of Tikkun. It's all to assist and to build this whole Inyan of Tikkun. So you might say, well, listen, everything was good, everything was wonderful. What's up, Inyan of Chayit? So, you can answer in pastors, and you can say, well, Einochanami. Adam did it, so he's to blame, yeah? So poor Adam Rishon, he's going to get the blame of all the generations, and to a certain extent, there's a certain trace of that. Yeah, poor Adam Rishon, when I say poor Adam Rishon, he's like the goal of a lot of bitter criticism that he brought about such a change and such a Yerida. You follow? So, what is going on now then is a whole different story than what it was in Gan Eden. It's a whole different Inyan. So, and then there's the destruction of the Beis HaMikdash. You had the most beautiful thing, and the Medrash says that if the Goyim would have only known what they got from the Beis HaMikdash, they wouldn't have destroyed it, the Romans. They would have brought their best legions to guard the Beis HaMikdash, as is written in the Medrash, because they would have known what the Beis HaMikdash gives them. Mm-hmm. They wouldn't have destroyed it. Oh, well, they destroyed it. After the destruction of the Beis HaMikdash, terrible situation. And then it sort of goes down, and then you get the Golas and all the Tzoras and this Tzoras and these Tzoras, this Aliyah, but then further, this, it's a very big, confusing and difficult situation. How come? So it's brought down in Chassidus, it's mentioned, and in certain Sfarim, and to a certain extent the Shloer himself, he intended that Hashem planned all this. But to a certain extent, it had to happen.
Right.
Had to, yeah. It had to happen. Hashem wanted, and this is the great paradox. So on the one hand, Adam sinned. In a way, he didn't. He was just carrying out what ultimately Hashem wanted anyway. So I'm now presenting you guys, who I notice you're all in high form. I'm presenting you guys, why would Hashem want all that? You could say, what a mess. Why would Hashem want this, the whole thing?
When you mentioned earlier that Adam Arishon was the perfection of everything, and including that union of self-awareness, is that somehow the key of understanding that? Because like Adam was Yatzir Kolpov Shalakosh Baruch Hu, is there something about that union of his self-awareness which was B'taklis?
Listen, you have a point, and I'm sort of coming to that, but slightly from another angle. But there's a certain point in what you're saying. And let's put it this way. For the Alter Rebbe says we don't really know why, but Hashem wanted 2 or 3 things. First of all, he wanted that there should be choshech. The way everything was made in Gan Eden, the way everything's going to be Liosed Love, no choshech. No choshech. Hashem wanted that something called choshech should come about.
Right.
And then he wanted Ishapcha Chashoicha Lin Hoira. He wanted that the choshech should be turned into light. He wanted the choshech to be turned into light. He wanted you should have a nefesh abamiyas, and you should do his kafir, and through that you should come to ishapcho. You should reverse the darkness in yourself into light. That's it. Yeah, you realize what that is? I mean, that's an amazing thing. And Hashem wanted not only just that there should be choshech, and choshech should be turned into light, but he wanted that you should do it. He wanted that man should do it. That man should have bechira, and he should choose davke the light and not the darkness, and he should choose to make it his job to make the darkness into light. And we don't really know why Hashem wanted that, but that's what he wanted. He wanted this whole thing because he wanted, what is achieved for that? The most amazing perfection of the man that he has carried out the impossible. Mm-hmm. He's changed the darkness into light. You follow? That's what Hashem wanted with this whole in the middle period. Oh, but what does that indicate? That indicates that it's all in the middle. It's not ultimately what Hashem wants to remain with. Ultimately, he wants Liyosid Love, where everything's going to be Kedusha. No separations anymore. Only Aliyahs. Everything back to the way it was, but even better than Gan Eden. Which means that Hashem in the meantime made this whole thing because he wanted man. And what does man gain from that? Man gains from that he earns Liyosid Love. He's not just going to be given an amazing matana, Liyosid Love of everything, but because he dealt with the choshech and he overcame the choshech and he made it into light, and what's going to happen with him? Unspeakable reward. He's going to get what's called reward. And you only get a reward if you have choice not to do it.
Why does Hashem want that?
You think I can deal with everything? Like we pointed out, we don't quite know why. Like the Alter Rebbe said, Afataylus concussion. For the time being. It's no contest that here's this unbelievable. Your leader, it's all in order to give man choice, put him in the world, and make him do the work. Last says, Loi is Boradira Batach, Toinim, you got to make, Hashem wants a Dira Batach Toinim, any problem. Okay. He can make a Dira Batach Toinim, check, like that. He wants it, you should make the Dira Batach Toinim. Once you've done that, then it becomes Dira Batach Toinim in the most perfect and imaginable way, how it's going to be Liyosid Love. He said that really the whole world is going in a certain direction. Dahainu, things look, and they are complicated. You've got a lot of work to do, but you're moving back to the way it was originally. But even better, you're working towards everything's going to be. And that's what we're working for. Just in the middle, we have this tremendous opportunity to earn that. It becomes an earned thing. It's not just going to be stuck. And that's what Hashem wanted. What he really wants is that. So and the whole so-called mess up in the middle is only to make you gain this unbelievable concept of reward, not just, as it called in the Gemara, Nahamad de Kiseipo, free bread that occurred for nothing. Of Amir Lafisa, contains that the whole world is moving in a certain direction, and it's moving towards the Yosid Lowe. And then you get the river, what the river said, no, it's moving, but it's moving at high speed. And you got to put the foot on the accelerator and high speed, that you call it, to Yosid Lowe. That's it. However, there's a certain koyach in the world that wants to go back the other way. And it wants to sit in the mud, it says, let's go back and stay with the balagan. What's to stay with the? And who's that? That's Amali. And Amali says, oh, balagan? that's good. He doesn't want to have to do too much with Hashem. He wants to have what he wants, not what Hashem wants. And that's what our sages say, Yodea es Rabbeinu, Amachavan Limrei Pei. He knows the truth, but he wants it his way. And therefore, what does he say to you? No, don't work hard with your Nefesh Habami. Don't do everything. Don't be Mahapeh Choshek Lo Oyer. All this sort of stuff. Mind? Yes, just take it easy. Don't get excited. Don't go out of your cake live and get involved in all these high ideas and run around putting fun on people and all sorts of stuff. What do you need all this for? Just take it easy. Come on. Let's just calm down. Take it easy. Let's stop this amazing flow, and we'll just sit in a pub and we'll have a few drinks and we'll work out what to do, What does that mean? Go news. It means nothing. That's Amalek. Amalek stops this unbelievable advance towards the Yosid Lowe. And he does it very cleverly. He says, oh yes, I know about the Eibishter. Sure, I'm a believer like everybody else. But take it easy. Don't. He takes away all the chayas. He takes away the whole chayas. And the man says, then the man says, Nefesh Habami says to him, listen, if you're not really doing anything much anyway, have a good time. So the man says, oh yeah, and that's Amalek, you follow? That's Amalek. Amalek is the koyach la'atzor, behechlet, the movement of the world. Therefore, Hashem says to him, you got to get rid of this Amalek guy. I gave him a certain choice. He's chosen that way. That's the way he wants. He wants the balagan. Okay, let him have it. Finish him up. You have to stop him, and then we'll be able to continue the. And therefore, a Amalek can creep in, even by people who have chesed, even by people who know Pnimis HaTorah. They say, when am I going to take it with all this Mashiach stuff, all this business, all this Sitlavut, all this. Calm down, take
all the Mashiach flags.
Right. I say to it, people say, but look, a Nes happened, He said, wait a minute, a Nes. There's a reason, you can explain it. In other words, it's well known that Amalek is Gematria Safek. The word Safek and Amalek have the same gematria. What does he do? He just puts a couple of fakers. Wait a minute, who said? What's the proof? Something like that. And next thing is the whole balloon. That's exactly. So what happens? You just stay in the collars. You just happy with it. Everything's fine. And that's called in the ordinary language of the Chassidim, that's called kalkate. You follow? Very coolness, you're very cool spirit, you're not one of these excitable people, you're very intellectual, and that's all. Before Purim, we have to get rid of Amalek. Because what is Purim? Purim, the Yidden were never in the Kolas, and they were in Goysa Tzoras, all the Yidden, the Alter writes in Torah, they all made a decision that they're only for Hashem, doesn't matter what. They're only going for the Evisha, and that is a koyach to overcome, even when Amalek's got the upper hand. He's not just mishing around, but he's got the upper hand. And he's got so much the upper hand that he said he's going to make a war against the whole concept of Yiddishkeit and Kedusha. And Yidden say, I'm sorry, old boy, nothing doing, how do you say, just one and only Havaya Echad. Doesn't interest me, shum dover. In order that Amalek should mish around, in that decision, Timche Zech Amalek. And that's why it is that the Yidden then, when they had this amazing nest, was they were given the right. Achashverosh changed his mind with the whole thing. I'm not going into all the details. They had this opportunity to overcome their enemies. Asher yishlo to Yehudim, Hema b'seinehem, as brought down in Sforim that all these enemies that were knocking around, they were all Amalekites. They were all descendants of Amalek, just like Haman. And Haman had a whole big etiquette party. Just like the Nazis started off with a party. He had a whole party of people who were Amalekites, just like him. And the Yidden said, no, we've got to get rid of him. And that's why Esther, but she was a very high person, what she got to do was stop killing off people. She said she wants another day in Shushan that the Yidden should be able to make war and knock off these people, because they were in Shushan. The party of Haman was very powerful indeed. And she knew, and she was Makayim Timche Zech Amalek. And we get it even before. Pasha Zohar is before Purim. We get the quest to get rid of Amalek, so that when we come into Purim, we're on the way. You understand? We're moving, and we're getting the whole world moving towards the ultimate state of everything going back to where it was really meant to be. In the middle, Hashem wanted, we don't quite know why, He wanted we should fight the Choshech. Okay, the Rebbe says that's been finished. That's been done. All we've got to do now is go, take it, and we're going to be in the Gula Shlema, take it from Yad. But unfortunately, there's still a few little Shiraim of the Amalekites, that are still left. And they'll come along and they say, wait a minute, are you really a Lubavitch? So you've got to be prepared to push all that aside and go into Purim and say, we are not satisfied with any sort of, half measurement. We're only satisfied with the Gula of Mitzvah, a Shleimo. And Haman is already finished. On Parsha Zohar we got rid of him, and now we're going up, and away. We're going into the Guru Shlema, back to where the world was meant to be. Omen Kaini Hirotan, and thank you, gentlemen, for your attention. And Rika, we want Mashiach
Now. Think of Miyad. Mamash.
Okay.